Hey guys, I'm Kevin and welcome to the tutorial for Green Day's Good Riddance. Maybe you heard this song at your high school prom or graduation. It was actually one of the first songs I ever learned on the acoustic guitar. It has some easy chords, a simple strumming pattern, and we're going to have a lot of fun playing it together. If you guys want more, go over to AllForUke.com where I have a comprehensive song sheet put together for you, as well as a play-along that you can sing and play with me. It's a lot of fun. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, you're only going to need 4 chords to learn this tune. Let's kick it off with the first chord of the song, which is G major. So we play G major like this, and we tilt our hand towards the headstock to give ourselves some good spacing to get all 3 fingers squeezed in there for the G major chord. Our second chord is C major, which I like to play with my ring finger down here on the A string of the 3rd fret. You could also play this with your pinky in some situations, so it might be good to learn that as well. We move on here to the E minor chord, the little staircase, using our index, middle, and ring finger. Because this song has a transition that goes from E minor back and forth to G, I want you to learn how to play E minor with your pinky, ring, and middle finger as well. I'll show you a little trick when we get there. And then our final chord is D major, which I play with middle, ring, and pinky on the G, C, and E string here of the 2nd fret. You could also play that by just barring those top 3 strings with your middle finger. The last option for D is to play it with index, middle, and ring. So see what's most comfortable for you and what works best within the chord progression. So those are the chords that you need for Good Riddance. All right, now we're going to check out the strumming pattern that happens throughout this tune. So the pattern is down, down, up, down, up. So the way that we count this is 1, 2, and 4, and. Because we want to break everything down as we subdivide the rhythm here as 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So a strumming pattern that we derive from that is 1, and then we ghost strum, 2, and then we ghost strum actually up and then down, and we go and 4, and. So the timing of it again is 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and. As you can watch my hand here, it's always moving down and up. You don't want to have any pauses or hesitation. That's kind of how you mess up the rhythm. So let's practice this with the chords that we'll use for the intro and the verse of the song. Well, the beginning part of the verse anyway. So the chord progression is G, C, and D. And the way we play this is we play through G twice, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, C, D. So if you need to pause the video, take a little time here and practice going G, C, D. And just work on that chord switch with single strums to get at the hang of it. But we're going to practice this here. I'll give us a 4 count in. We'll do it nice and slow, and we'll just do G, C, and D a few times, working on the strumming pattern. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 4, and 1, 2, and 4, and C, D. Again, G, to the C, to the D. If you're digging the sound of my uke, head over to allforuke.com/shop. You can have a Kala ukulele for yourself. When you buy your Kala ukulele through AllForUke, you're supporting us, and we really appreciate it. Make sure you check it out. Concerts, sopranos, tenors, baritones, a wide selection of accessories, capos, and more. All for you, allforuke.com/shop. All right, now I'm going to do a demonstration of the verse, and I'm going to talk through the lyrics so you guys know where we are, but I'm just going to talk them because I don't want to deal with any copyright issues. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's got like a little Johnny Cash going there. All right, now we're going to take a look at the chord change that happens. So we already learned G, C, and D, which is your intro and the first two lines of this verse section here. But where the change happens is when we go from E minor to D, C to G. So this is where you need to practice this chord change. So it's on, it's not a question. We go E minor once to the D chord. No shared fingers, so this is a little tricky to get there. Then we move down to our C chord. We do that one time. And then we transfer over here to our G chord. So that repeats for the next line. And the final component of the verse is actually the refrain of the song, where it says it's something unpredictable. And this is where we're going to learn how to do this E minor to G switch, because we play this end part of the verse with E minor, G, back and forth. Now, if you try to do that using your regular E minor shape, this is a tricky chord switch because you have to move all of your fingers from E minor to G, like this. However, if you're playing the G chord and you take your pinky, move it out here to the 4th fret of the C string, you can play your E minor chord without moving from your G chord. So I have G, and if I add my pinky, now I have E minor. It's magic. So learn how to do this with your pinky, because you're going to have to switch back and forth quickly on one strum. You're more than welcome to do this, but I'm just going to try to save you a little time getting there. And the last component of the verse we need to learn here is over the tagline, I hope you had the time of your life, which the chords move from E minor to D major, and then we start playing the intro over again. So it just sounds like this: E minor once, D once, and then it restarts the intro: G, C, All right, make sure you're tuned up, and more importantly, make sure you're smiling. We're playing some uke together. What could be better? I'm going to talk us through all the chords here in the verse section. Here we go with a 4 count in. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, C, D, again G, C, D, change to that E minor, D, C, G, we're going to do that again, E minor, D, C, G to the tag, E minor, G, E minor, G, E minor, D, and then G, C, D, and end on G. Well, I hope you had the time of your life learning this one with me, and if you want more, go over to AllForUke.com, where I have a comprehensive play-along and song sheet that you can print out, take to your next uke group function. It's a lot of fun to play. I also want to mention, if you guys have any comments or want to let me know where you're playing, leave those in the comments below. We have a lot more tutorials coming your way, so keep checking back here to the All4Uke channel. Thanks so much for learning with me. I'll see you next time.
Meet me down by the seaside. We can howl at the moon rise. Watch as the tide strolls